Good afternoon. In the 2 weeks since President Trump, the president's been, I think, pretty strong since day one in his language towards Iran. He was responding to comments made from them, and he's going to continue to focus on the safety and security of American people.
Or does he have faith in the intelligence agencies that have concluded definitively the other way?
Referencing the collusion component, once again, the president has faith in the intelligence that suggests and maintained that Russia was involved in the elections. However, it's also important that same information concludes that it had no impact on the election, and that the president, again, would like to repeat that there was no collusion.
Clearance is a threat to our democracy. Why will he not forcefully denounce that?
The president has been incredibly tough on Russia. He's brought it up directly to him in person every single time that they have met. He has put unprecedented sanctions and been extremely tough on Russia across a number of fronts, which we've addressed here many times before. Frankly, I'm not sure why that is so hard for the media to write about. We've repeated it time and time again. The policy that the president has been since day one in office has been extremely tough on Russia, probably more so than with any other country.
Saying that he's, and I quote, monetizing.
Not only is the president looking to take away Brennan's security clearance, he's also looking into the clearances of Comey, Clapper, Hayden, Rice, and McCabe. The president is exploring the mechanisms to remove security clearance because they've politicized and in some cases monetized their public service and security clearances. Making baseless accusations of improper contact with Russia or being influenced by Russia against the president is extremely inappropriate, and the fact that people with security clearances are making these baseless charges provides inappropriate legitimacy to accusations with zero evidence.
To address Iran's nuclear ambitions.
Could you explain a little bit of the threshold that the president has for taking away former official security clearance? Is it his position then that any former Obama administration official who holds clearance and does make political statements about him should have their clearance revoked? Or is it just limited to the names right now that you read?
As of right now, we are exploring the mechanism on those specific names. I'll keep you posted when there's further details.
In New Jersey, when he spoke of fire and fury.
The president is threatening to punish Brennan and Comey and Clapper for saying things about him that he doesn't like. Is that presidential?
The president is exploring these mechanisms to remove security clearance because they've politicized and in some cases actually monetized their public service and their security clearances, and making baseless accusations of improper contact with Russia or being influenced by Russia against the president is extremely inappropriate. The president contends that the fact that people with security clearances are making these baseless charges provides inappropriate legitimacy to accusations with zero evidence.
So
when we have further updates on that front, I'll certainly let you know.
Free speech he doesn't like, and he wants to punish them for it.
No, I think you are creating your own story there. The president doesn't like the fact that people are politicizing agencies and departments that are specifically meant to not be political and not meant to be monetized off of security clearances.
A separate question, actually, but to follow up on that. Isn't the president doing exactly what you just said the president doesn't want all these people doing? Politicizing matters of national security by going after his political enemies?
No, the president's not making baseless accusations of improper contact with a foreign government and accusing the president of the United States of treasonous activity when you have the highest level of security clearance, when you're the person that holds the nation's deepest, most sacred secrets at your hands, and you go out and you make false accusations against the president of the United States. He thinks that is something to be very concerned with, and we're exploring what those options are and what that looks like.
Security clearance, is there any other action under review?
Not that I'm aware.
It's not about the press, but has the president briefed his national security advisor, his secretary of state, the director of national intelligence, and the defense secretary on what exactly was said between him and President Putin?
The president has met and spoken with all of those individuals since his meeting with President Putin.
When he briefs them, is he relying solely on his own memory to tell them what happened during that 2-hour meeting?
The president has met and consulted with all of his national security team, and we feel very confident in those
It's on what he remembers that happened. It's not.
Caitlin, I'm not going to
notes he
go
took
into the
or-
specific details on how the president interacts every single time with his national security team.
Well, this is a rarity,
But-
though. It's a sit down with the Russian president.
It's actually
for 2
not a
hours
rarity. It's
one-on-one.
a normal practice for two world leaders to be able to have a conversation
But
with
not
one
the
another.
president of Russia
David,
was
go
having
ahead.
an American
What
election.
about President Obama and Vice President Biden? And their security clearances, are they on the list as well?
I'm not aware of any plans for that at this point. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you on the South Lawn.